Hello, hello, hello. There we go. We do have missiles that are inbound here. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. Good evening. Okay, reportedly seeing interceptors seen departing Israel to intercept the missiles fired by Iran. So again, this is another day and night here with the Israel and Iran war going on. Good evening, Sydney. I actually have something after these missiles either strike or get intercepted. I do have something to show you you won't find on other streams, which is kind of interesting. But we are, hello, Callie. But we're going to see how this plays out over Tel Aviv. Again, guys, we've been covering this for probably about the past 8 hours in the Discord, which is right above my head, discord.gg/breaking news. Feel free to join that there, and you'll basically be tied into all the sources that we use and have. And that's the red alert. So yes, be sure to do that. Be sure to join into the Discord here. I'm going to show you guys what we've found as well. Let me pull it up on this screen here. That would be this one. So I actually had this, which you won't find on any other stream. For those who don't know, this is Diego Garcia, and we actually got some very high definition. This one is 616, so this was yesterday, because they're like a day and a half. This is Diego Garcia. We have several B-52 bombers, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have what looks to be some F-35s, but there's 6 fighter jets at Diego Garcia. That looks to be a C-17 there because of the engines. It's not prop driven, and looks like, I'm not too sure what those are, but we have that one there. And then I also had this one, which was from 6/14, June 14th here. And you can see those are definitely B-52s. And you were the first one that broke out for you. Yeah, I tried to be very quick with the news when I can. I try to be very, very quick. This is Diego Garcia. That's in the Indian Ocean. It's a very secret military base that the United States has. Hence why you see the watercolor. But yeah, you won't find these anywhere else. So right now we do have that missile strike that is inbound. Trump is actively right now in Canada for the G7 summit. There was talks of him leaving. Now there could be a ceasefire opportunity and deal. So right now we're kind of waiting to see what happens with that. We had Offutt Air Force Base actually was doing their communications check with Andrews Air Force Base. Offutt is the nuclear command control air wing now. And Andrews is the closest to the White House, but that did occur. Look in here, it says confused picture, Trump departs early amid reports. So they said that they wasn't, and they said that they were. We're getting a report here. It says the United States Indonesia Pacific Command has raised the force protection condition known as the FPCON from Alpha to Bravo for all bases across its area of responsibility. What that means is that FPCON Bravo applies when an increased or more predictable threat of terrorist activity exists. Sustaining Bravo measures for a prolonged period may affect operational capabilities and relations with local authorities. So That is Indo-Pacific. Israeli military warns air defense is working to intercept the Iranian missiles. That's what we're waiting on here, is to see these intercepts. So I hope everyone is doing well, though. Hello, guys. Angelina, hello. Zippy, hello. Jen. Spicy Danger Doritos at Diego. Yeah, that's at Diego Garcia. I got YouTube chat up now so I can see you guys. We sent them. Most of those tankers are actually over in Spain at the naval base right now. Most of them are. What's up, Mopar? Hello. Hello, Mopar. Hello, hello. If they want a seize deal, why send missiles? You're talking about the same people who do some unbelievable things to women. So, you know. Well, the B2s could be they could be in the hangars at Diego. They could also be at different bases too. We chose to ask about Diego because that's one where they'll typically put their stuff. Common sense isn't a flower in everyone's garden. Yeah, no. Oh, Zach, that's nice. And we are kind of waiting. Like I did say, we did have that one though that came up. We had Offit earlier, like I was saying. This was about an hour ago that Offit did their comms check, which was came in crystal clear. It came in crystal clear here, which was this one. Yeah, it was this one here. But that was the EAM. Hold on, that wasn't the one that I thought it was. But it's been coming in very, very crystal clear. Right here, we got it. It was this one. Offit is actually the Nuclear Control Command Air Wing, and Andrews is where the White House is. It's closest base to the White House. And that was when they were, talking about Trump possibly leaving the G7 summit and coming back to the White House immediately, because there was supposedly some talks that the Situation Room was being activated for the National Security Council. Hello, Cadence. We have a very good and strong president right now. Right now, we would be in the same mess between Ukraine and Russia if we had Biden again, or even Kamala. And that's just a fact. You need someone with a backbone. Kamala didn't have a backbone. Biden got walked on. I think they paused the Situation Room meeting. I believe they paused it. U.S. Forces Korea confirms that all of its bases in South Korea have increased their FP-Con level to Bravo under orders from the United States Indo-Pacific Command. Why would Offit be talking to Andrews if they weren't doing anything nuclear? Well, good question. Offit is the HFGCS network is designed for the nuclear triad. It's what activates the nuclear triad once the president pushes that button. And so the HFGCS network, they do their radio checks, but it just seems a little strange that that's happening when a nuclear sniffer, an RC-135, is flying up and overhead. I mean, in my opinion, what do I think is going to happen? Either Iran's going to run with the tail between their legs, the supreme leader may be unalived, or we're going to pull 2003 with Baghdad, you know, and it is not off of the table to pull 2003. It is not off of the table to pull 2003. Coca-Cola. Coca-Cola. Well, that's pretty rude. Shock and awe. Yep, you know it. What's 2003? Did someone seriously ask what's 2003? Did someone seriously ask that? Wait, did someone seriously ask what was 2003? Did bro seriously ask what 2003 was? Hold on. Did they ask what's 2003? I'll show you what 2003 was. I will show you what 2003 was. This was Baghdad. This was Baghdad. And this is exactly what Trump has been talking about doing today to Iran. And it's long overdue. They needed this back in 2005 and they never got it. That's the capital of Iraq, and that's the United States strategic bombers just carpet bombing the entire capital with no warning. By the time that they saw it on radar, they couldn't do shit about it. That is 2003 of Baghdad. That was 2003. And that's what's going to happen. We know the B-2s are over there. And that was part of Trump's talks today, is that they will drop MOPS on them. They will drop MOPS. Okay, I'm going to give you my politician talk now. My politician talk is someone goes, did they have nuclear weapons? You're not going to like my answer, but as a politician, I have to do this. And that is, right now, Iran is the closest they've ever been to producing a nuclear weapon, or may have already produced a nuclear weapon. So there's my politician talk, but I'm not wrong. I'm not inciting one thing or the other, but it's a fact. Exactly, Ghost Recon, exactly. You know, at the end of the day, shock and awe, yes, Cody. You know, right now, they're not authorized to have nuclear weapons. They're not authorized to have the capability to produce nuclear weapons. They've refused to sign peace treaties, and they have been kept in such secrecy. It's insane. You know, don't forget the whole Iran-Contra deal. That was well before my time. Well before my time. Well before most of your times as well. I guarantee it. Yes, you have, OB3. Yes, you have. Ollie North, yes! My mom loved Oliver North. I mean, you guys talk about what's the worst outcome for the United States if they were to get involved. You know, you can take that down so many rabbit holes. The biggest issue is sleeper cells. There's terrorists in the United States already planning an attack. I guarantee it. I guarantee it. Look at the, what was it, a Navy SEAL and some other dude that was planning an assassination that was just arrested tonight on Trump. You know, like, they're here. They're here. It's not false info. It's not false info, Amanda. Look at 9/11. They're here already. Guys, thank you for all the follows and the joins in the Discord. The joins in the Discord is absolutely fantastic. Almost at 2,000 people for breaking news alerts, and it's free. You don't got to pay. So, correction, it was a former Coast Guard officer who was arrested after threatening and planning to assassinate the current president. Hello, HD, what's up? Amanda, you're going to get blocked. Have a good day. Not the Coast Guard. Iran did just send over a good bit of missiles. You know, the issue is I don't know what she's talking about. Me saying that we already have terrorists here who's planning a sleeper cell attack. That's not false. That's not misinformation. Look at her population. You know, look at 9/11. They were in here. They got driver's licenses. They had passports, and they were able to board planes and do that. You know, they're not going to come and send. Thank you, Donna. They're not going to send a missile over to the United States. No. They can have. They know that they can do it inside of our borders. They could, you know, and the worst part is, and this has happened with ISIS, they will not physically act. They will basically be like me and you and get them to join their cult and join their extremist beliefs and then get them to do it. And they're the mastermind. You know, that is even the worst, which is where basically they brainwash American citizens who may not like the current administration and then talk them into doing extremist activity. This is DD Cypress. That is live. DD Cypress is. Oh. Several explosions are rising up from the capital of Kyiv in Ukraine after a large-scale missile and drone attack by Russia. It's just coming across now. No. The whole MAGA thing gets blown way out of proportion. The whole MAGA thing gets blown way out of proportion. Hello, Dodgers. What's up? Joseph goes, I love Austin. Been in his channel since he started, but since he streams other platforms, I feel like a redhead stepchild YouTube chat. Don't, Joseph. I'm getting used to watching the YouTube chat. I'm glad I'm back on YouTube. No, don't feel like the redheaded bastard child. You're good. Hello, Catherine. Hello. Oh, hey. I got an oh, thank you, HD. Thank you. I got an email. Jesus. No, thank you, Airbus. I'm no longer a fan of Airbus. I'm not a fan of Airbus anymore. Airbus is a no-go for me. I'm glad to see you back. Steve from Agenda Free TV was complaining he needed food. He said he was hangry. Hey, I got a full rack of ribs waiting for me when I'm done with this live stream. I did, yes. So since Iran did that, I'm curious here if we're going to get anything from Israel. I'm curious if we're going to get anything from Israel now. We shall see. We shall see. Thank you, HD. Thank you, Donna. What do you think they are discussing in the Situation Room? So Situation Room is kind of like a delay right now. Trump is still in Canada, from my understanding. He's still in Canada, which is up here. He's up here at the G7 summit, and at G7 they are supposedly talking about a ceasefire that's in progress. Oh yeah, they're above cruising altitude. They're at cruising altitude. They're above their normal training altitude, but we have a handful of, there's about 4 or 5 air refuelers that's going out in addition to what already left. Some of these here, we're gonna refresh this because I think it's a little bit old. More tankers. Some of them were outdated. Yeah, they're at 39,000 feet at 500 knots. They're on a long haul. Indy, yeah, I was gonna say Indy's probably going back to Indiana, where they have a base at for them. Nogs, Cody. A B1 Lancer coming out. Did that come out of Minot? Where did that come out of? A B1 Lancer at 22,000 feet. B1. Cody, how is it dark in Israel and daytime in Iran? Time zone. It's a weird thing. It's very weird. It is. There's like an hour that it's like just complete difference, but I think Israel has cloud cover as well, which kind of brings that down. Yeah, I know. Why is it B1 on? And they're on MLAT, so it's legit. What the heck? What the hell? My live access. What the hell? So TikTok goes, your live access is suspended for misinformation. As a journalist, it's misinformation now. Interesting. Huh. What? Because I said that we have sleeper cell terrorists waiting to go? Is that what? What? What the hell? I think the B2 was flying early this morning in Palmdale. Okay, interesting. I don't know. That's weird. So, yeah, it says I have my live access suspended. Okay. Wow. That's not nice at all. That's not nice, dang you. Oops. Let me do this. Wow, okay. Well, I'm gonna cut off the studio portion, pull this back up then. That's crazy, guys. That is crazy. Whoops. Sorry about that. That is crazy. That is crazy if you ask me. That's crazy. Hello. Yeah, that's crazy, guys. I don't know. It has to be a mass report. The only thing that I can think of is that they did They probably did some sort of mass report, and it was just like, oh, he loves Israel, so we're gonna do this. And it's like, really? That's crazy, though. That is crazy that they would do that. Okay. There's a B-1 Lancer flying overhead right now. There's a B-1. And those are kind of pretty rare to see on here. I don't know, peoples. It's annoying, though. I can tell you that much. That they're like, well, misinformation, so adios. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Luck of the draw for you. Basically, yeah, that's what it was. It was the luck of a draw. Okay, well, we'll do this report here and see what sticks. And well, I guess I got to stick apparently. So it doesn't shock me at all, though. It doesn't shock me at all. There we go. So it doesn't shock me, unfortunately. Some people just truly are miserable in their lives. Oh, there we go. There we go. So, yeah, there's a B-1 Lancer here. They are out in North Dakota. You don't typically see a B-1 Lancer. P8s are up. We know that Trump is supposedly still up there in Canada for that G7 summit. There has been talks that they may work their way into some sort of ceasefire deal, which would be absolutely fantastic if they could, just to get it done and over with. And that ceasefire deal would be obviously between Israel and Iran. There are some talks. Now, OSINT says footage which appears to show the result of an exo-atmospheric interception of a ballistic missile fired by Iran earlier over central Israel. Yeah, my appeal submitted. That's insane. There's no such thing as free speech when you're talking about the Chinese Communist Party. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes. Good. You guys are good now. There you go. Echo. Yeah, I added in the camera so it kind of like threw it back in. I put the submission in. We'll see what happens. It's probably gonna be like, But hello, McTickle. I will tell you though, now it's got a lot of people freaking out because it was after I started talking about the B-1 Lancer that they immediately, or like the live ended after I started talking about the B-1 Lancer, and it freaked people out. They're like, he was just talking about the B-1. So that kind of freaked people out. Jumbo RCH, they're probably gonna go to refuel. Oh, the Roccos are back. I wonder what they were doing. Correct. I mean, and I'm used to that. I mean, I used to get a ton of people on YouTube. I used to get like 600, 800, 1,000 people plus. U.S. Senator Bernie Sanders introduces bill to block Trump from striking Iran. Sanders' No War Against Iran Act would prohibit the use of federal funds for any use of military force against Iran unless it has been specifically authorized by the U.S. Congress. 13 minutes ago, the air raid sirens were blaring in northern Israel. I think that's what we were watching there. Yeah, I mean, it sucks, obviously. It sucks that we don't get the engagement that we would like, but I can't do anything about that, unfortunately. It sucks. But TikTok is TikTok, what are you gonna do about it? That's what I gotta say. That's a funny name. That's a funny name, Cassie. You know, and the nice thing is too, I can watch Discord chat and also YouTube chat. I was watching TikTok chat, but you know, stuff happens. TikTok, I know TikTok never does. TikTok never like that whatsoever. My wife would approve. You know, TikTok is TikTok, and they're gonna do what TikTok does best, and it's crap. But I sued them once already. I'm not suing them again. That was a long, drag out process, and I'm just glad I got my final month's earnings on my account. I had 350,000. I was like thinking, I should sue them again to get that account back, but knowing them, they probably deleted it. Knowing the Chinese Communist Party, they probably damn well kept all that data and kept the account there. Censorship's crazy. Espresso depresso. You better watch with that last word. The Air Force will be like, yep, nope, kicking you out. You can't have depression here. Other crappy thing is I can't play my music on you guys. I can't do that, unfortunately, and it sucks. I keep looking to see if they have done anything on this. Yeah, I don't understand it. You know, there should be a tag that you can apply for as a journalist where you don't get hit with the automatic bullcrap. The Depressionator 3000. Oh my god. Well, everything's copywritten, and the way YouTube is if someone else used that non-copyright music, they'll get a notification and they can still do a takedown on it. It's asinine how YouTube does it. You guys remember when I had a Reuters contract and it was for the inauguration, I think, or something like that. It was around the inauguration day, and they played music, and my YouTube got banned for a week. And I snapped on Reuters, and oh, that was a cluster. That was a cluster. Oh, probably. They probably will be. That's what typically happens is when it starts to get nice out, then that's when the crazies come out. What is going to happen to the United States? I really don't think we have too much to worry about. Other than the occasional sleeper cell incident. Better not talk about sleeper cell incident, you know, I'll suddenly get yeeted again. But you know, I don't think we don't have to worry about anything coming like over the border unless it's a Mexican. But we got to worry more about the sleeper cells that are already here. We should be lucky that we're even getting this. In all honesty, we should be lucky that we're even getting these cameras, because Iran doesn't have internet, in the nicest way to say that. They don't have the best internet or cell service. Bro, I'm looking at some of these messages I'm getting. I have not got anything back from TikTok yet, I don't think. Gonna be interesting. Like certified. They were 30 minutes behind. Probably knowing them. No, for real, now that I'm cyber, I get all sources. I'll go set up internet for them. Just don't end up being like that rear admiral or that chief warrant officer, petty warrant officer who put a Starlink on a destroyer. That was insane. If you want to move to Mexico, that's what it's going to look like. I wouldn't do it. I couldn't believe she did that. I could not believe she did that. That was insane. That was insane. Ah, daylight coming in Tel Aviv. I got vibration on my phone. The Gulf of Oman has ships on fire in the Gulf of Oman. The Gulf of Oman, we have 2 ships on fire. Ooh, that's cool. That's pretty. The Gulf of Oman. That is what we have happening right now in the Gulf of Oman. Galaxy S24 Ultra. Time to go to marine traffic, guys. The Gulf of Oman. Oh, I'm back when that pirate ship from the Mexican Navy tried to take out the Brooklyn Bridge and got Brooklyned. Okay, so Oman. That little notch. I don't know. Gulf of Oman, is that up here? Where is this? Because I don't know if they flipped it. NASA firms. We'll look up firms and see. They're fine. I'm aware. We'll take Landsat for 30 minutes here and see. Or is this the Gulf of Oman? I don't know which one they consider the Gulf of Oman. Okay. Yeah, I would like to see active fires, please. Here we go. That's what I'm trying to do. I haven't used this since wildfires. They changed it a good bit. Look, I just want to know where the fire is. Oh, hold on. Okay. Okay, no. Or is that strictly just... Yeah, no. Time-based. Like, am I missing something here for the location? Okay, we'll do this. Current location. No, I do not want to do that. I do not want to dox myself on stream. Georgia, hello. Probably weeks. In all honesty, probably weeks. I don't think that it's going to be anything like over quickly. Where did they see that? Like, where? There's a little notch. Okay, we're gonna do this. Gulf of Oman. Okay, so the Gulf of Oman. That's what I thought. Where the? Oh, I bet it's way in that notch. Surely it's not where everything is like, is it? Okay, so that's just, it's all right here. That's a lot of boats going to that. Each one of those are boats. Yeah, I guess we just look for where all the boats are. What the hell? That's got to be it. Yeah, because there's that notch. And there's that notch. Yeah, this is it. Okay, this is it. Oh, dang. I'm just going to reply. That's a good bit of boats. One missile was launched from Iran towards Israel. Only one? I like that. They can't be that stupid. They literally ask for a peace. You know, we want peace. We want to escalate our diplomacy. And then all of a sudden, they send one missile over to Israel. Who does that? Who does that? Who does one missile? It was like they just poked the bear. The storms are insane right now. Operation Sleeping Bear. Right? Let's see here. That's going down, so they're gonna land and they flew from Wichita. That's not too long. 135 Nogs Nitro. World War III is not starting, guys. As much. Oh, holy hell. They are on a freaking trip out of Pittsburgh. They're already off the coast. When did they leave? They left at 16:35, 22. They've been flying for 6 hours. So 6 hours, they are off the coast of California. Damn, they gotta be going to Hawaii. Russia! Wait a minute. Wait a goddamn minute. Are they going to Pyongyang? Are they going to Pyongyang? What did I tell you guys? What did I tell you guys? Is that Pyongyang? It looks like it. I need a map. Why does it say news? Yeah, they're going to Pyongyang. Yeah, they're going down. Uh, 12 F-22s and F-35s deploying to the Gulf in the next 48 hours. Yeah, and they're going down at negative 1,800 feet a minute. So I don't know. Interesting. To join them for the drag. Kim Jong-un. Yeah, so they're flying. Yeah, no response back on that one. That's nice. Let's see if this one has any information on what it's doing, what it's been used for. This is that plane. A high-level delegate. I mean, the United States shot down their own F-22 or F-35 there a couple months ago. Or that was that a year ago. It was insane. It takes a good bit to trigger like an actual war declaration. It takes a good bit. It doesn't happen lightly. It doesn't happen lightly, if that's what you mean. I like how no one's running call signs out here. Vuaba. Hello, India. Winner! Israel put up a Gulf plane to fly around that says winner. It literally says winner. Winner. That's amazing. Winner. No, it's not drawing any wieners this time. Huh. There's the NATO AWACS for the probably the training exercise, the C5M, C-17. C5M, doing circles, royal, nail. Winner, winner, chicken dinner, right, Dodger? Right? Nogs. Another gold coming out. Yes, we were just talking about Oman. It's the Oman one. Yeah, we were talking about that's where all these ships are. So something's going on over there. Don't know what, but something is going on. Something's going on. Yeah, no, that kind of ruined it with the whole TikTok stuff. That's where we were getting a lot of the traction. It was Steve. Oh, guys, let's see. I've been live an hour. I'm gonna take a break here. See if maybe I get TikTok to be nice again. Don't touch our ships. Yeah. Right now it seems to be quiet, so we're going to wait and see what happens, guys. I'm gonna try and get TikTok back.